Your person is slowly coming into the profound awareness that you are not just someone passing through their life, but the living, breathing embodiment of unconditional love itself. This realization has struck them in waves, sometimes gentle, sometimes overwhelming, but always with a sense of awe. They are looking at you now, whether in memory or in presence, and every glance, every thought of you, is forcing them to question the choices and decisions they have made up until this point. It is as though your connection has become a mirror, one that reflects both the beauty of what you shared and the mistakes they can no longer deny. They are beginning to acknowledge that somewhere along the path, they mishandled you. Not because you weren't worthy of care, devotion, or reverence, but because they simply didn't understand the magnitude of what they were holding in their hands. At the time, they could not fathom how sacred, how rare, how life-altering this connection truly was. They carried disbelief like a shield, convincing themselves that perhaps this bond was exaggerated in their mind, or too good to be real. Yet the irony is clear to them now. What they doubted was the very thing they most needed to believe in. That disbelief has since dissolved into shock and regret as they look at where the two of you stand today. The connection is still alive, humming underneath everything, but it no longer feels the same. Your person sees now, with a piercing clarity, that it has always been you, always you standing beside them, holding space for them, never abandoning them, even in the moments when life was at its darkest and the pain felt unbearable. You were the constant in a world full of uncertainty, the anchor they didn't even know they needed. And yet, in the present moment, they feel as though you are no longer there in the way you once were. There is a weight in their chest as they realize that your gaze no longer carries the same light, the same admiration, or the same respect that it used to. They notice the difference, they feel the distance. What once was steady and unwavering has been replaced with silence, space, and a quiet absence that cuts deeper than words could express. They know, without needing to be told, that this shift is their doing. They are not blind to it. It was their doubts, their insecurities, their pride, and their ego that created this chasm between you. They pushed you away in ways they didn't even recognize at the time, and now they are left sitting in the aftermath of their own actions. And so, they sit with the emptiness. They feel left out, abandoned not by you, but by the choices they made that led to this place. Emotionally, they are adrift, alone in a way that only your absence could create. Still, even in this emptiness, their heart continues to whisper one truth: it is still you. You are the only one who has this kind of hold on them, reaching into places no one else can touch. Emotionally, sensually, mentally, and spiritually, you encompass it all. They have tried, perhaps, to fill the void in other ways, to distract themselves or to seek fulfillment elsewhere, but every attempt has fallen flat. No one compares. No one can satisfy them in the ways you once did, no one can ground them or ignite them the way you so effortlessly do. They now realize that your connection was never random, never accidental. It was alignment, a meeting of souls on a journey that was meant to happen. You came into their life precisely because you were what they needed, not just a partner, not just a companion, but a mirror, a catalyst, a guiding light. Through you, they discovered parts of themselves they never would have found otherwise. You drew out the best within them, sometimes gently, sometimes through the friction of growth, but always with purpose. They see now that this ability you have is not ordinary, it is sacred. You are the only one who has ever managed to unlock those hidden depths within them. Your person is flooded with the awareness that you are irreplaceable. The way you touched their life cannot be undone, cannot be forgotten, cannot be replicated. And though they wrestle with the reality that they may have lost the admiration and closeness you once offered so freely, they cannot let go of the truth that it has always been you. You are the one who has awakened them, the one who has walked beside them even when they couldn't see it, the one who continues to hold power over their heart and soul in a way they will never fully be able to explain. Now, more than ever, they want to reach out, to tell you everything, to confess what has been sitting heavy on their spirit. They want you to know that despite their mistakes, despite the distance, despite the ways they failed to honor what they had with you, nothing has changed the way they feel. They want you to know that they still see you as the one who makes them whole, the one who satisfies them emotionally and strengthens them from within. They want to admit, without pride, that it was never anyone else. It was always you. In their quiet moments, they think of how different things could have been if only they had recognized the truth sooner, if only they had cherished you with the reverence you deserved instead of letting their fears and ego speak louder than their heart. But even in regret, there is hope flickering within them. Hope that perhaps you still see the connection for what it is. Hope that even if your eyes no longer shine with the same admiration, some part of you still feels the pull that binds you together. Hope that it isn't too late to honor what they now know without question, that you are the one, the rare and sacred love they will never find again. My love, there are no words that can fully capture the pain I feel from being separated from you. It is not just sadness, it feels as if a vital piece of my soul has been torn away, leaving me empty and restless, aching for your touch. Every day without you is like wandering through a hollow world, carrying a longing that I cannot put down. Even in your absence, I can still feel you with me, as if your energy is woven into my very being. From the very beginning, the signs were always there. I was drawn to you instantly, almost as though some invisible thread had been pulling me toward you long before we ever met. It was uncanny, a familiarity that felt older than this lifetime, as if we had known one another across centuries and were simply finding our way back. I never expected to experience a connection so powerful and consuming, but sometimes life places before us the kind of bond that redefines everything we thought we understood. You are that bond for me, the unexpected miracle who swept me off my feet and challenged the limits of what I believed love could be. I find myself thinking of you constantly. No matter what I am doing or how busy I try to keep myself, my mind drifts back to you. There is nothing in this world that can fill the emptiness you left behind. It is as though my heart only knows one language now, and that language is you. I have tried to control these emotions, to quiet them, to reason with myself, but love this profound is beyond comprehension. It does not bend to logic, nor can it be silenced by willpower. It simply exists, like a force of nature, unstoppable and eternal. So often I sit and stare at your pictures, tracing the outlines of your smile, your eyes, your presence frozen in still frames. I wonder what it would feel like to hold you again, to feel your warmth pressed against me, to hear your heartbeat in the quiet. I miss the closeness we shared, the comfort of knowing that no matter what the world threw at us, I could find peace in your arms. Without you, there is an ache that nothing else soothes. Right now, I feel like I am sifting through the ashes of our love, searching desperately for fragments to rebuild from. There are moments when it feels like all that remains is sorrow, and yet even in the midst of that pain, there is a flicker of hope that refuses to die out. Because despite everything, I believe in us. I believe that what we shared was too powerful, too meaningful, to vanish into nothing. I believe that we can take the broken pieces and create something even stronger, brighter, and more unshakable than before. There are so many words left unsaid between us, so many thoughts and feelings that I never had the chance to express. I hold them close, trusting that God will grant us another chance to speak them aloud, another chance to bridge the silence that has grown between us. Deep down, I feel that our story isn't finished. Love like ours does not come along by accident, it is written into the fabric of destiny. Perhaps this time apart is not the end but rather a necessary pause, a season of growth, so that when we find our way back, we will be ready to love each other even more fully. My heart is determined to try again, to fight for us, to rebuild what we had and shape it into something unbreakable. I do not want to look back with regret or with words left unspoken. I want to move forward with honesty, with faith, with love that is patient and enduring. I want to rewrite our story together, not by erasing the pain of the past, but by using it as the foundation for a future built on deeper understanding, stronger trust, and the kind of love that can weather any storm. Even in this distance, I carry you with me everywhere I go. I see reminders of you in the smallest things, in songs, in passing faces, in sunsets that remind me of evenings we should have shared. My soul whispers your name when the world is quiet. And when I pray, I ask for the strength to keep believing, for the courage to wait, and for the grace to become the person you deserve by your side. So here I am, vulnerable, open, and longing, with every part of me reaching for you. I want nothing more than to walk beside you again, to hold your hand through the unknown, to laugh, to cry, to dream, to build. Our story is not over, I refuse to let it end here. With faith as my compass and love as my guide, I believe we will find our way back, and when we do, our love will be reborn brighter and stronger than ever before. Until that day comes, I will hold you in my heart, as I always have, as I always will. Forever yours. My fear and insecurities created a heavy block in our connection, one that I now see more clearly than ever before. I used to think I was afraid of being hurt by you, but when I looked deep within myself, I realized that the truth was far different. My real fear was never about pain or disappointment, it was about the thought of losing you. The idea of you no longer being in my life has always been unbearable, and in my attempts to shield myself from that possibility, I ended up creating distance instead. That contradiction has weighed heavily on me, because the very thing I was trying to protect, our bond, was what I unintentionally kept at arm's length. No matter where I go or what I do, my eyes always search for you. It's as though some invisible part of me is constantly scanning the world in hopes of catching a glimpse of you, even if just in spirit. What we share feels far greater than anything ordinary, it transcends the boundaries of time and space. It doesn't feel limited to this single lifetime, it feels eternal, as though our souls have been intertwined for ages before this existence and will continue to be long after. That sense of destiny brings me both comfort and longing. It makes me believe that even if we are apart in this moment, we are still connected in ways that go far beyond what words can express. Trust that a message from me will reach you soon. I am simply waiting for the green light from the universe, a subtle sign that the timing is right for me to reach out and bridge the silence. Lately, I've found myself drifting into memories of our most special moments. They replay in my mind like gentle fragments of a film, each one carrying its own emotion and warmth. Your love confession in particular continues to echo within me. Even now, it brings me immense joy and an involuntary smile every time I think of it. That moment lives in my heart as something sacred and pure, a reminder of what we were capable of sharing at our most honest and vulnerable. I hold those memories close, almost like treasures, because they remind me not only of you but also of who I was when I was with you, the most open and authentic version of myself. I've faced countless obstacles in my life, and with persistence and strength, I've managed to overcome each one. Challenges that once felt impossible eventually became stepping stones toward growth and resilience. Yet, despite all I've achieved and endured, your absence remains the one wound that refuses to heal. It hurts in ways that no amount of distraction can soothe. I keep myself busy with work, responsibilities, and endless tasks, thinking that if I stay in motion, I might avoid the ache. But no matter how occupied I am, thoughts of you keep slipping back into my mind, uninvited yet impossible to resist. They come in quiet moments, in the pauses between tasks, in the silence before sleep. And each time, I am reminded that there is no escaping what is etched so deeply in my heart. I've also realized something significant about myself in this process. For a long time, I sought external validation, leaning on the opinions of others to guide my choices. I let their voices drown out my own, creating confusion and hesitation where there should have been clarity. But now, I see that I don't need anyone else to tell me what my heart already knows. My next move, whatever it may be, doesn't require the approval or advice of those outside of me. What I truly need is to trust myself, to listen to my inner voice and validate my own feelings. I've learned that no one else lives inside my heart, no one else carries this connection the way I do, and therefore no one else can truly understand the depth of what I feel. This awareness has been both liberating and grounding. It has shown me that love, in its truest form, is not about seeking permission from the world but about having the courage to honor the truth that already lives inside. And my truth is that you matter to me more than I can ever fully explain. The love I feel is not something I can simply bury or forget, because it is woven into the very fabric of who I am. Even in moments of silence, even in the times when we've been apart, the thread between us has never broken. So I write these words not just as a confession but as an acknowledgement of everything I've come to understand. Fear may have once stood in the way, but I no longer wish to let it dictate the course of my heart. I want you to know that I see the value of what we share more clearly now than ever before. I carry you with me, in my thoughts, in my memories, and in my soul. And when the universe signals that the time is right, I will reach out, not with hesitation, but with the certainty that this connection is worth every step, every risk, and every ounce of vulnerability it requires.